Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm so excited that you're taking a step forward into creating a life that you desire and a life that you can create and really design for what matters most to you in your life and to create an incredible transformation process. So I salute you and congratulate you on taking this first step to start to work on your transformation. And by doing that, you are going to be using the Success Journal that's been created by the Global Association for Women in Transformation. So my name is Michelle Modelis, and I'm the CEO of TransformWomen.com. Would love to have you join us on our free membership site and connect with you a little bit more on that. But today what we're going to do is talk about this Success Journal and getting started with creating a journaling process that can really transform your life. I designed this journal to be really your daily companion and your go-to source to create some significant and massive changes in your life that you will actually get to see pretty soon if you dig in and stay in the process. So the book is designed to help you establish and set some goals and work toward those goals, to establish what your affirmations are and to process that on a daily basis. Also, there's a section in the book on gratitude. I think gratitude is so essential in your daily life. You know, we find what we're looking for, so staying in a state of gratitude on a regular basis is going to really open up the world for you, I promise you. And then lastly, the thoughts that you can journal out on a daily basis. I've gone ahead and included many pages for you to go ahead and jot down some things on a daily basis. So what we're going to do is talk about this journal, and really the reason, there are 5 key points that I think that really make up the importance of the journaling process. And the first one is a consolidation. It's really a place where you can consolidate your thoughts. You can gather the events that have happened for the day, maybe for the week, or just whatever's coming to your mind at that moment. It's really a place to consolidate all of that. The second one is that it's convenient. This journal is super convenient. It's small enough that it can fit in your purse. You can kind of fold it up. You can fit it in a briefcase. You can put it in a suitcase. You can take this with you if you're traveling around. I know for me, I had 4 different journals that I worked in, and that's why I consolidated them to this one particular book for all of you. Also, you can print this out and take it with you. You can print it out just and keep it in a folder. You can take it to a office supply store, have them bind it. I just did a coil binding on here, but you could also use a binder, and you would just slip your cover into this clear view, okay? And then you can just add more pages as you want as you're flipping through and keeping this binder, if you want to do it that way. If you just want to print the pages out and put it in a folder, you can do that too with a big, stapler. Then however you want. There's no right or wrong. It's yours to create how you want so that it can work to transform your life in a way that you desire. You're going to have a chance to personalize it, so that's going to make it really fun. So the first thing with getting started with this is that you can just dive in right now, and you don't have to really put a whole lot of thought to it. So what we're going to do first is, the first section is to create your soul statement. Now, in your book, if you've never created a soul statement before, what this is, it's really the essence and the core of who you are, what you desire for your life, and what you want to take to move forward with this process. So really, for me, it was, I don't know, about 8-9 years ago or so when I could really identify with a quote that Sheila Walsh mentioned in one of her books, and that is that for many years, I applied an anesthetic to my soul, only to discover that I could not be selective about which parts of my life I did. And when I chose to contain pain, I also contained joy. And I'm telling you, that is no way to live. So since I related to that, that was really an aha, eye-opening moment for me to decide I want some changes in my life, because I want to experience the joy. There's so much joy to be had. There's a lot of challenges and a lot of things that happen in our life, but we can choose really to focus on the things that are going to move us forward into the life that we desire, right? So what we're going to do, first of all, is create this soul statement. Now, for women, a lot of times we identify our being with the roles that we play. Now, that could be, some women identify their worth by the roles of what their paycheck dictates, right? What their job title calls them. Maybe if they're working inside the home or outside of the home, what activities they do, that kind of defines who they are. Maybe it's somebody who likes to volunteer a lot and they feel that defines who they are. All of those things don't define who you are. Your authentic self identifies who you are, and all of those other areas of your life, though extremely important, are supportive roles to your life. So the soul statement really kind of gets to the core and the essence of who you are. So if you were to take a look at your book, this soul statement, you're going to say that you desire to be a woman of, and because of that, that's going to cause X. And then that will enable you to live a life of whatever that is you desire. And then as a result, the following is going to occur. So the best way for me to explain to you is just to share with you my soul statement. And it was about 4 years ago that I learned about this process. And I spent some time kind of identifying what I really wanted to create. And so my soul statement is that I desire to be a woman of influence and inspiration in the U.S. and abroad, which causes me to live a rich and a full life beyond what I can even imagine, and to live out my purpose in a life of passion, health, and happiness. So you can take some time and just kind of identify what it is you want and what results and what causes you want to have affected by what you're doing. And that's how you'll go ahead and put that page together for your soul statement. And that's kind of the beginning or the foundation of working with this journal. So the second part is going to be talking about your goals. Now, in this section, I have 3 pages of blank boxes where you can put anything you want. Now, what I've done is I've gathered pictures from magazines. I have just some pieces of paper that I've put words on that I've put into my book. And I'll go ahead and show you mine, but it's not that you need to mimic it. It's going to be whatever you decide that you want for your book. And this is basically what you're looking forward to. So this probably is not going to be pictures of the past situations or experiences or maybe the way you've looked in the past, but just moving forward, something that represents what you want for your life. And so there's 3 sides, and the double page spread that I did was I put this together. Now this girl right in the center of the book is not somebody that I want to look like or be, but what she does is represents for me a little bit of adventure, and she looks a little sassy. Anybody who can rock some blue nail polish and an orange outfit is pretty cool in my opinion. And so I just think that that's a really good reflection or a symbol of, excitement and passion and being daring, of what that represents for me. Now, and I've also put these little pieces of paper with just some colored pencil or colored pen mark. And I've just written down some words. International girl. I love traveling internationally, and I want to do a whole lot more of that. So healthy, vitality, confidence, energetic, inspirational, transformed, freedom, brave, original, bold, strength. So these are just some things that I've put on this page. You can decorate this however you like. This didn't take me long at all, seriously. Just look through a magazine or go buy a magazine that you think might have some words or some pictures that might want to represent. And then this is also another page of some things that I just kind of desire for a look. Now this woman here, I think that a healthy lifestyle is created and everything else falls in line with having a healthy lifestyle. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. And what I've done is I've taken a picture of somebody that looks like something that I could achieve. Now, I know we can say we want to have these big dreams and big goals to do some things. This for me personally represents healthy, fit, and strong. And that's what's important for me. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I just want to be healthy and strong. So that's why this picture represents this. There's a globe in there, obviously. I found this. I thought this was amazing. International Woman of Influence. I saw that in a magazine, and I thought, well, okay, I'm putting that in my book. It's sort of like a vision board or a vision journal, but it's going a little step forward beyond that. So you can just put some things on here that you want. Just fierce, business is booming. Just different areas of your life. Yes, I also have a picture of my dream butt, what I want, again, all in line with the healthy and fitness aspect. So you can take some time to put that together, and if you need to add more pages, feel free just to print out. You have the download, and you can print it out as many times as you like. You can go to this specific page and print out more copies. If you're keeping this in a binder, then you can just add to the binder additional pages for that. So next we'll go ahead and move on with the goals. So once you've established kind of what your vision is, and you've developed your soul statement, that's the core of who you are, what you want to design for your life, then you can establish your goals. And the way I like to do my goals is to separate them by categories. So we have different categories in your book. So it first gives you a little blurb about setting goals and what the importance of that is, and how to be successful when you are setting your goals. And let me get to the next page here. So we're in the categories of the goals. You've got a way to not only decide what your goals are, but also to decide how you're going to take the action steps to achieve those goals. Right? And accountability is so important. I know for me, I do much better and I'm quicker at achieving my goals when I have accountability. So that might mean sharing some of your goals with a trusted friend and just kind of touching base with them and letting them know. And this is going to be somebody who's going to be in support of your goals and is going to maybe check in and say, how are you doing? And encourage you rather than scold you for maybe not making a timeline. So I just really encourage you to talk about your goals with people that you do trust when you are sharing them, and to celebrate when you achieve your goal. Now, a goal doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing. It can be just a small goal. Maybe you set for this week, or you have a goal that you set for next month. You also can do the 1-year goal, the 5-year goal, all of those kinds of things. But we're just going to start. We're not going to make it so complicated. We're just going to get started, okay? So when you are talking about your goals, you can just separate them into, this first section is your health. Now, again, you don't have to put pictures, but this just represented something that I thought was important for me to have as a visual to see. And this young gal, she's obviously a lot younger than me, so I'm not trying to look like her, but the reason why I chose this was because she has some wide hips, a little bit wider than some of the other traditional runners that you might see in some of the running magazines. And so I chose this because my hips are a little bit wider, and I can't change the structure of my body without having surgery, and I'm not willing to do that. So for instance, some of my goals were to tone my body, my legs, my stomach, get better at doing my meal planning on a weekly basis. So you can just list out all of the different goals you have and then your action plan. Okay, so toning up, I might need to work out strength training 3 times a week in addition to the other things that I'm doing. I might want to join or create a challenge group. A friend of mine created an ab challenge group, and there were about 5 or 6 of us that did it, and we just kind of posted some of the things that we did on a daily basis. So that might be something. Or if you have a buddy system and maybe the 2 of you go to the gym, or if you don't have a gym membership, there's lots of things that you can do. Just YouTube anything and you can get workout programs right there that you can do in your home. So there's not an excuse. You don't have to have a gym membership that costs you anything. You can do everything right there in your own home. The next section is your family and your relationship goals. So this is going to be whatever you choose, whether it is friendships, relationships with a significant other or a spouse, significant relationship changes maybe with your children, anything that you want to change or you have a goal, then write them down here, and then steps to achieve that. Maybe if it's to develop a deeper bond with in any relationship that you have, that's going to require spending time. So maybe you have to calendar spending time, whether it's on a date for a date night on a regular basis, if with a spouse or with a significant other, or maybe you just need to calendar spending some time on the phone or gathering for coffee with some girlfriends. If whatever it is you want to do, then just schedule those action items. The next section is your financial goals. Okay, now this can be small or a large financial goal. So I'm just going to share with you some of mine just so I can speak to that. One of them is I've got a loan for my daughter's education. It's a parent loan. I can't get rid of it. I have to pay it off. So I need to find some creative ways in my budget to be able to pay off this loan. So that might mean reviewing my budget on a monthly basis and seeing how I can make some changes to free up some funds to be able to pay that off. I also have a goal to pay off a home that I have. And so what that's going to require is me maybe making an action plan. This is a big goal. This is going to take a while to achieve. The action steps may be to contact my lender and ask them, if I pay $25 extra a month, what kind of result will I have? What kind of result if I pay $100 or something like that? Now, another goal that you may have that I could also have on a smaller basis would be, how can I increase my savings account on a regular basis? So that might mean that my action steps would be the goal would be to deposit $50 a month into my savings account. Now, the action step for that might be to assess, where can I find that? I can't, unless I'm creating more income. If I want to do that based on the income that I have coming in currently, then what I have to do is find out where in my budget can I free up those extra funds. And maybe that's, if I'm going out to dinner, maybe it's going out to dinner less. If I am going to Starbucks and having a chai tea latte, maybe it's having fewer of those a month. You'd be surprised at how quickly those lattes add up. So just things like that. If you get your manicure or pedicure, if it's the summertime, maybe doing some of those things at home, just to try to find. What you're going to do is decide what priorities you have, what's important to you, and then you create the budget. If that self-care of getting a manicure and a pedicure is important to you, because I believe that self-care is, and that's going to make you feel more productive, then don't cut that out. Maybe cut out something else. Something else that will align with your soul statement and the rest of your goals. Okay, so then the next section in your book is your career goals. So if you are at a job where you report to somebody on a daily basis, or if you are an entrepreneur, if you're self-employed and you don't have to report to somebody, but you still have some goals because you want to maybe gain some additional clients, because you want to gain some additional revenue, then whatever those goals are, go ahead and write those down, create those action steps. So for instance, one of my goals is to finish my book. I have a book that I'm working on, and I kind of put it on the back burner while I was doing some other things. So it's time for me to pick back up on that. Now, we all have 24 hours in a day. We need sleep for our brains and to be able to function. If you're on an exercise program, which based on my health goals, I want to work out during the week. So I have to account for every single hour of the day, but how can I be productive with that time? So when I'm talking about finishing my book, I've got to carve out some time in my calendar. And that might mean that maybe once a week for 4 hours, maybe on a Monday afternoon is when I'm going to start or carve out some time to be able to uninterrupted, turn my phone off, turn my computer off, turn Facebook off, turn Twitter off, and just sit and write. And maybe that means that I need to create an atmosphere. Maybe I need to go to a park. Maybe I need to go to a coffee shop and put my headphones in so that people don't start talking, because people are wonderful. If you want a social experience, head over to a coffee shop and you'll get it. But if you put your earphones in, people usually don't interrupt you. If you maybe need to set a spot in your room or your office or your living room, light a candle, just to kind of create some quiet time and just some intentional time to carry out those action items or those action plans to help you achieve that goal. So maybe you need to, cut out some other things to free up your time. That's going to be an eye-opener too. Maybe you have a favorite TV show, and I'm not telling you to turn off your TV or sell your TV, but maybe for a time you carve out a month, and so for 4 days in that month, for that specified time, you're not going to watch, you're going to sacrifice watching your favorite TV program, because this greater goal is going to get you further along in your transformation process and in your goals and for what you want to achieve for your life. So it's just a give and take and a balance, and it's never ending. We have to choose some things and sprint sometimes and have a marathon at other times, where, we may be just really hard pressed and fast moving to accomplish a goal. And the other times we're just doing infinite steps on a daily basis, on a regular basis, to get us to achieve that goal. Because some goals are not immediate. Some you have to keep, processing in order to achieve that goal. And going into it, if it's going to be a short term, whether it's just a couple of days or a couple of weeks or a year. So you identify that. And then personal development is the next page in your booklet. Personal development, I think, is essential. It really is something that will keep you going in all areas of your life. So you pick some authors or pick some things that you think would be important for you. Now, if you are not a reader or you don't have a lot of time for that, then maybe, again, carve out some time or put an audio book. Find a book on tape or a book on CD. Download it to your Kindle if you've got that. I personally like a tangible book, but other people like it on a Kindle. And if you travel on a plane, those are great ways to get some extra reading time in. So when you are working on your personal development goals, you want to keep in mind the 3 areas: your body, your mind, and your soul, because feeding all areas is what's going to keep you balanced and get you to your full transformation process. So for me, I have a lot of books, but a few books that I found that were very kind of life-changing for me one of them is 3 Feet from Gold by Sharon Lechter and Greg Reed. This is about staying in it, not quitting, not giving up, but staying in the game until you reach your destination or your goal. So and I like really easy reading books, so you can see that it's pretty easy reading. The next one that I have is called The Slight Edge, and this is by Jeff Olson. Most of these books come in hardback and paperback. It's just my personal preference for a hardback book. The Slight Edge is about just doing something a little bit each day, and when you least expect it, you're going to see a huge reward for everything that you're staying in the game and sticking to it with. Another one is called Power Thoughts by Joyce Meyer. I have so many notes in this book. This is about mind management and the things that we say to ourselves. So this, to me, is a staple. I pick this book up over and over and over, and I'll just go to different chapters and reread. So she's one of my favorite women speakers to listen to. Another one is called The Gift in You, and this is by Dr. Caroline Leaf. She talks about brain science and rewiring some of our thought process, which we can do. Our minds are very powerful. And so in this transformation process, it's key to make sure that we are managing our thoughts, managing our mind, and overcoming the negative thoughts that pop into your mind that want to keep you back. You have to really overcome that and put a different thought process in place. Another one of my favorite books is The Lioness Arising. Lisa Bevere has done this. This actually came with a workbook, and I did this. So you can see there's a lot of different books that you can read out there for me, I rarely read cover to cover, but that's just my own personal style. I'll go in and find the things that I want to read, and then I'll go back at different times. So I have a lot of books that I'm in the process of reading, but I'm always making sure to have something that's positive that is in on my radar and in my hand to be able to read. Another one that is going to be important for relationships and for dealing with people, whether it's the business world, in your family life, is called The 5 Love Languages. And this talks about the different love languages and how you can really speak to somebody so that they know you care about them. This is very important. And then for my fitness, I believe that fitness is a lifestyle. And so I tend to submerge myself in magazines or articles that are going to give me some equipment, some information that is going to allow me to do better and get better results than what I'm doing. And so I do triathlons and some running and some cycling. So I just get subscriptions to magazines, or I'll pick up a magazine in an airport or when I'm at the grocery store. I'll pick up, so I've got a triathlete, I have a fitness magazine, a running magazine, and this just kind of submerges me into what I feel is important for me, and this will help me achieve better results. So that is how you will put together your goal pages. Now this is probably going to take some time, and don't feel like you have to put something for the sake of putting it down. If something doesn't come to you right away, it will. When you have just some time of just quietness and reflection, and really you're determining what is important to you, everything is going to come to you. When you live a life with intention, you can bet that your life is going to be transformed into ways that you couldn't even come up with or create on your own, because it's an ongoing process. So it's very exciting. So the next section is your affirmations page. Now, what I did, I just took this from one of my other journals. As I said, I have about 4 or 5 actually different journals for these different areas, and I've consolidated them in here so I have it in one place. With the affirmation, this basically is stating something as if it's already happened. You know, to move forward in life, you kind of walk as if you're already an expert there. So this may be some flashcards that you have to have. Sometimes when I'm working on a challenging task and I need to get better at it, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, although I do that at times, saying I don't know how to do it and focusing on that negative thoughts, I will write a flashcard, and this is a little 3x5 card. You can pick them at the dollar store. You can pick them up at Target. I wait when the school is about to get back in session for the kids. I go and stock up on my office supplies because I know I can get a lot of things I need at a really discounted price. So I have some flashcards, here we go, right here. And I'll just post these in my office around my desk. I'll eventually combine them. I do have a ring that I have that I'll flip through, and I'll look at some that I've done, and I'll decide or I'll recognize that I've made major strides in the areas that I needed some assistance with or some extra help. And I'll just write a flashcard that, for instance, I've got a sweet tooth. Okay, I have some health goals, and I'm not going to have a body of, a toned legs and toned tummy if I'm eating sweets. And so when I'm feeling like I'm on a sweet kick, this is one that I've done. I have the willpower to fight the urge for sweets. They provide no fuel for me. So this is just something that I can put into my head. And when we feed ourselves with good positivity, then positivity exudes. So you might want to just pick up some flashcards. You can also, I have some major affirmations that I have listed in my book here. This has one page of affirmation, but there's also a spot on your daily journaling that we'll get into in just a moment. It has a spot for you to write a daily affirmation there too. So sometimes I'll just pick up my book and I'll just write what I'm thankful for and what I'm grateful for. That's going to be in a different section. But if I state it in an affirmative way, then I'm kind of walking as if it's already come to pass. So for instance, a couple of mine are, I can easily and instantly create health, wealth, and passion in my life. Another one is every cell of my body exudes with love. Another one is that my travels and other places and other countries help to further my inspiration for my writing. Another one of my favorites, is that I trust my conviction and my intuition. I'm deeply grateful for my wonderful life. That doesn't mean that I don't have any hardships or any challenges. Quite the contrary. But if I focus on the things that I want to achieve, this is not a Pollyanna type thought process. It's just saying, I am grateful for my wonderful life. I actually have a wonderful life. There are many things in my life that are wonderful. There's some things that I still wish were different, but I can only control the things that I can control, and I can control what I focus my thoughts are, because my thoughts are going to create my actions, and my actions are going to create the results that I desire for my life, and that is to be a woman of influence and inspiration in the U.S. and abroad, to help others live a full life and have some health, passion, and happiness as a result of all of that. So you can see everything kind of comes back to the core essence or soul statement that you create. So that's your affirmation page. The next part is your gratitude journal. Now I've listed, if you print out all 3 of the pages, there's lots of space for you to list things that you're grateful for. And I just mentioned a minute ago that when we are in a state of gratefulness, amazing things open up. The daily journaling is going to have a spot for you to have some gratitude to go ahead and write about on a daily basis. But if you want to just sit with your journal and just list out everything that you're grateful for. It could be something small, it could be something large. What sometimes I call small things that I'm grateful for, silly things, they're not silly at all. But for instance, right now, my nails are growing and they're staying strong, and I'm grateful for that, because I like to have nice nails, but I don't want to go to the expense or the effort to have nails, because I've got my house that I want to pay off and some other financial goals. So I'm nipping and tucking in my budget everywhere I can. So the fact that I have nails that I can actually paint just to clear, I'm happy with that. Other things that you're grateful for is waking up in the morning. Grateful for your health. Have you overcome some health challenges? Are you in the process of overcoming them? Those are really key. Are you grateful for a job that you have? Even if it's not the most perfect scenario, you have income coming in, and grateful for that. So many people are unemployed. Are you grateful for a creative mind? Are you grateful for the people in your life that help you and support you, encourage you? Are you grateful for the people in your life that you get to help, support, and encourage, and for the opportunities? Are you even grateful for the people that bring some challenges to your life, because they might cause you to dig a little bit deeper and discover some things that maybe you wouldn't have? So just list out everything that you want, whether you think it's small or you think it's gigantic. A roof over your head. My spin teacher, he talks about gratitude, and he talks about having running waters. In California right now, we're in a drought, and so I'm grateful that I have the thought process to conserve water, and that I have water right now while we're in this drought. So those are just some things that you can create in your gratitude journal on these pages, and also moving on over into the daily. So as we move into the daily section of your journal, I have put in the download version 60 pages. So 60 pages is more than enough time to get you on a good structure, on a good discipline, and on a good habit to create this routine that will become natural. For some of you, maybe you love to journal, and maybe you don't. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you do it for a little bit of time and then you stop and pick back up. That's okay. But what this is designed to do, and you don't necessarily have to write a whole book when you journal. That's why I purposely did not leave a bunch of space. And you'll see there's only 3 different lines, but there's all kinds of room down at the bottom, along the side. You get to personalize this journal however you want. And so as you're doing your daily basis, it's not dated specific, so you can pick up and start anytime. If you miss a day, okay. Just pick up and date it the next day. So you don't have a date on here that you've maybe missed a few pages and you can't do anything with those pages. Here you write the date in here, and it's date specific. It's not date specific, so you can start up anytime you want. Okay, so the 5 points really for that I've created that come as a result from journaling are that you have the opportunity to kind of sort out some of your thoughts. Okay, you also have the opportunity to use your journaling as a time of reflection, reflecting on maybe the day or yesterday. You get to choose what time of day you do your journaling. There's no rule or right or wrong. You don't have to do it in the morning. You don't have to do it in the evening. It's whatever's going to fit in with your schedule. It's really kind of important to just be in a quiet spot so that you can take a breath and just really open up your mind to discovering what all has happened in the day. So again, you've got that time to sort out some of your thoughts. You've got the time to, have this time of reflection. You have a time of connecting, really connecting with maybe some things that you might not have thought about. Maybe it's a time to connect with some feelings that maybe you've been kind of pushing down. Transformation comes when you're willing to dig deep and as deep as necessary to create a different result than you've already had. And really, true transformation is a complete opposite change and not looking like anything that resembles the past. It's a completely new configuration. So when you're talking about transforming your life, sometimes going in and digging a little bit deeper, even though it might not be real comfortable, but sometimes that's when the best, in fact, I could probably guarantee that is when really the true total transformation happens. So it's also a time for discovery. Maybe you're going to discover some things that you need to learn. Remember, I mentioned that, being grateful for some people in your life that might not really, they might bring some challenges that you might not have wanted to really go through, but it happens, and really there's always a reason for it. So why not make the best of it? So maybe discover maybe what an experience or a situation or a challenge has offered you to find out and make some changes. And then it's also a time to acknowledge your feelings. So sometimes, I know from me and my journals, sometimes the pages are kind of ruffled up if I go back and look at them. And I know that tears have been shed and dropped on those pages. And they might be tears of joy. They might be tears of immense heartache. But I know that getting that out is a release, and it does create freedom. And what it does is it acknowledges that you have that. Not that you stay there, but you acknowledge that you have it, and then you move forward from it. Now, if it's tears of gratitude, you want to just stay in that joy time forever. But if it's something that you really want to make some changes, then just let your feelings go out. If you're upset about something, write that you're upset about it. This is your journal. Nobody's going to see it. So each page has an inspirational quote on the bottom of it. So it's just a fun little quote. I've come up with, hundreds of quotes. I've researched hundreds of quotes. And so I'll be doing some supplements to this. But there's 60 different quotes. So just read that. Some are kind of fun. Some are deep. Some are deeper than others. So take a peek at what those quotes are on a daily basis, and just fill out your daily journal. You're going to give a date. You're going to give something that you're grateful for today. You're going to write that out. You're going to list an affirmation for the day. Maybe it's just date specific. I am confident that I'm going to do well on this job interview today. Whatever it is you're doing, I am confident. I am excited about the 2-mile walk that I went on today. I am feeling healthy because I walked on the treadmill for 10 minutes. Whatever your specific goals are, you're going to write that in the affirmative. The next is, if you've got a big goal that you're working toward, you can just kind of keep this. You can keep moving it from page to page, but eventually you want to start working on that big goal. And I've heard it called a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, where that just seems like it's something that's so far-fetched and out there that you might not even know how you would accomplish it. But you have the thought, you have the idea, you maybe have that dream, but if you've got it, that means you probably need to start working on it. So we can get into that a little bit later. But what can you do today to move you towards your goals? Remember, you've got goals on all of these other pages, and I encourage you to visit those goal pages every single day so that they're staying in the forefront of your mind and you know that there's something that you're going to work with. Look at your pictures on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Just go through this. This is your go-to source for your total transformation. So use it to the best that you can. And then your thoughts for the day. This is where you just let your thoughts go to your pen and write it out on paper. You don't have to worry about spelling, about grammar, punctuation, even if it's legible or not. I know in my journals, sometimes I write in code. I know what the code means, but because I want to write it down, I want to get it out faster. Sometimes there's just a lot there. Other days, nothing really comes to me, and that's okay. You can just say, I'm just feeling like really nothing's happening today. And then once you start to write, it will start to flow and you'll be surprised. So if you have to add in extra pages, feel free to do that, as many as you need to, right? When I printed out my book, I did a coil bound. I took it to Staples, or excuse me, Kinko's, but Kinko's or Staples can do this, and I did mine front to back, but you can do it single-sided so that you've got an entire back page that's clean. And if you're journaling more than just 3 lines, then you can add it to the back. I purposely did just the 3 lines so you wouldn't feel overwhelmed that you have to fill up the space. That's your choice. So again, as you complete each page of this journal, this success journal, really I encourage you to think about what changes you want to have in your life. And I'm just completely thrilled to be on this journey with you. If you have not joined our free membership with the Global Association for Women in Transformation, feel free to visit our website at transformwomen.com. That's TRANSFORM, women, WOMEN.com. And go ahead and click on the Join Now. It's a free membership. There's fun things that you get with that free membership, but you also get a chance to participate in our free closed private Facebook group. And if you want to be brave and share some of the things that you're posting in your journal, we would love to hear you. Have questions about anything, feel free to connect with us there. You can also send us an email at info@transformwomen.com. And I am just thrilled to be on this journey with you and would love to connect further with you. I can't wait to have you see some of the other programs that are coming up. Just click on the website under programs and you can see the different things to help support you as you are navigating through some transitions in your life. We at the Global Association for Women in Transformation are here to give you practical and progressive solutions to help you in that navigation process. And I would be completely honored to participate in this journey with you. And so I just wish you an amazing day and cheers to you for taking this step to start with this journal on your complete total transformation process. Have an amazing day.